Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to your boys channel. We are back with a brand new video, and we still got to discuss one of the biggest movies of the summer, and that is the Man of Steel 2025, the new Superman movie. As you can see here, your boy is on comicbigmovie.com. We talking about Superman no longer stands a chance of beating Man of Steel at the worldwide box office. This has been a big topic for a lot of people. Let's go ahead and get into it. As Superman's run at the box office begins winding down, it's become apparent that the movie will not be able to beat Man of Steel's worldwide haul. You can learn more about that after the jump. Superman hasn't been a box office flop. It will end 2025 as easily the year's highest grossing superhero movie, but even with a guaranteed $600 million haul, it's also not a huge hit for DC Studios and Warner Brothers Discovery. As recently as last month, NBC reported that Superman was awarded, I believe, I can't even pronounce this, $11,091.686 in tax credits through its Ohio Motion Picture Tax Credit application, with the Ohio-related expenses were projected to exceed 36 million, which made up about 10% of the movie's total budget of more than 363 million. So it might be $11 million. I'm sorry, I'm not good at math. If the budget was that high, then Superman has likely barely broken even. Still, there will be money to be made from its many promotional partners, merchandise, and the recent digital release. However, that surprise digital debut, which Gunn claimed is Peacemaker Season 2 related, has done Superman's box office prospects no favors. As of yesterday, the DCU reboot was $594.6 million worldwide and will hit 600 million by the end of this weekend for an estimated final haul of 605 million to $620 million. That's a good result given how much DC has struggled in recent years, and coupled with positive reviews, it's a solid start for DC Studios heading into 2026. Next year will be a big test for how much the brand has been rejuvenated with the release of Supergirl and Clayface. The former is set to be released in a very busy summer. For those of you keeping score, Superman no longer stands a chance of beating Man of Steel's $670 million worldwide haul from 2013, which adjusted for inflation would be $929 million. Some have argued that the difference was that Man of Steel had the benefit of opening after the Dark Knight trilogy concluded, but Zack Snyder's reboot also came 2 years after Green Lantern, a huge flop. Yeah, that movie was garbage. Superman has suddenly beaten Man of Steel in the US, so DC Studios now needs to figure out how to get its movies to connect with international audience. Neither Supergirl nor Clayface feature a big A-list name, so the studio will need to sell moviegoers on the characters themselves. That is true. Superman DC Studios' first feature film to hit the big screen is set to soar into theaters worldwide this summer from the Warner Brothers Pictures. In a signature style, James Gunn takes on the original superhero in the newly imagined DC universe with a singular blend of epic action, humor, and heart, delivering a Superman who's driven by compassion and an inherent belief in the goodness of mankind. Superman is an indescribable joy with, we said in our review, a beautiful movie thrill. David Corenswet is the perfect Man of Steel in a movie packed full of ideas. Fortunately, under James Gunn expert direction, all of those work, creating a rousing experience that flies higher than DC has in any has in a very long time. The movie stars David Corenswet in the dual role of Clark Kent, and of course, he has the other actors being named. So, as you can see here, yeah, it's still not doing Man of Steel numbers, but I guess it's good enough for the studio to greenlit a sequel, which I believe that James Gunn is already working on. In my personal opinion, this movie was not good to me at all. I know people said a 6 out of 10 isn't a bad score, and that's what I gave it. I mean, there was a lot going on that it kept me, watching to see what would happen next. But I just did not like overall the story. It honestly felt like a Saturday morning cartoon that was ripped off the pages that they decided to make a movie about. And um another YouTuber basically said that this Superman was more mild, where Man of Steel was more spicy. And to me, I would take Man of Steel a million times over this new Superman. Now, I know, going forward, we don't know if the movies are going to get more serious or if they're going to keep this kind of goofy tone. In my opinion, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I can kind of see James Gunn decide to keep this kind of goofy tone for this movie. And it just wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't care for it. And a lot of people may see this as a failure because it didn't do better than Man of Steel. Obviously, this is coming off the many, many years of the DCEU's failures. And maybe people having superhero fatigue because obviously Marvel hasn't been doing that good either lately. So we'll have to see what the future holds for this new Man of Steel and for what the future holds for the DCU as a whole. Now, this doesn't mean that I want to see the DCU fail. I still want to see it succeed. I still want to see James Gunn knock a lot of this stuff out of the park. But I just wanted to see a little more seriousness and a lot less, goofy, stupid humor, which makes you think about Supergirl, which I think that movie is going to be a bunch of raunchy humor, a bunch of, not as much silly stupidness as this, but maybe going in a much more different way with the silliness. And it doesn't really leave me excited, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what we're gonna get with that movie. You know. So post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think of my, thoughts on this article. Let me know what your thoughts are on this article. I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you all for watching. Peace. We out, baby.